wrestlers and wrestling fans. This is the All About Wrestling podcast, The Briefing, and we have a show for you right now. We are talking about SLOWPOKE Toys and Collectibles, all right? Their goal is to help promote independent wrestling, and their items will debut at Starrcade. So in a little bit, we're going to have Greg DePaoli, the founder of SLOWPOKE's, call in and actually give us some information, all right? So any questions you may have, make sure you put them in the chat. As always, I am joined by my lovely, beautiful, spicy co-host, the one and only Miss Mi Amor.
You already know. I'm here, not going anywhere. Hey, y'all. But you know, the hair has faded a little bit, so we got to spice this up again. Okay. But today we actually have the Dangerous Jobbers podcast on the show today. So help me give a great welcome to Stevie Jobber and Duke Jobber.
What's going on, guys?
What's going on, y'all?
What's up, guys? So
not much, man.
Let our viewers know who you are. I mean, we got to get your word out there.
Stevie, you want to take the introductions or should I do them? Well, I couldn't hear Stevie, so I'm going to do the introductions. So, with that being said, my name is Dangerous Duke. That's Stevie Jobber. We're the Dangerous Jobbers podcast. We discuss all things wrestling, be it WWE, AEW, Ring of Honor, New Japan, indie companies, and we go over the goods and the bads of wrestling, and we just try to put wrestling over one podcast at a time.
Nice.
Awesome. It's finally good to have y'all. We've been trying to make it happen, but you guys are here. We see D the Toy Hunter in the room. Duke, Steve, he says. So we want to talk about a lot of wrestling right now. But first, like I mentioned before, I do have the founder of SLOWPOKE Toys and Collectibles. Greg DePaoli is on the line. Hello, sir. Are you with us?
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo. What's up, man? You got some pretty good stuff going on here.
I do. Thank you.
Yes.
My wife thinks the same as well.
Yeah, you have something great going on here. So let us know. What are you doing with your company?
So SLOWPOKE Toys is coming out with the indy-wrestling collectibles line. This line is meant to help promote independent wrestling, promoters, wrestlers, and everyone in between. So with the sales of the different merchandise that I'm coming out with in the line, I'm going to use that to either advertise and promote other independent wrestling events. I'm going to use it to possibly get paydays that are a little better for the talent that are on cards, and then even make the talent or the promotion's merchandising better. You go to an indie show, you go to a merch table, you see a lot of 8x10s, and you see a lot of shirts. You don't really see much else unless you have like a higher end talent that puts out a lot of money to make all other types of items. I am here to help facilitate that, whether it's sticker sheets, large bumper stickers, magnets, keychains, air fresheners. In the process of doing a couple of other things similar to shrinky dinks and color forms, all different types of goodies that you can make for your own individual brands, for the wrestlers to promote themselves, for promoters to promote themselves, as well as for just fans of independent wrestling to help promote the thing that they love.
Awesome.
Great. So last week when we promoted you, we actually had a question about that. We were looking at these pins, these stickers that we received. And so basically what you're telling us is this is customizable to any type of independent wrestler or any wrestler for that fact, where they can actually have this custom made for them.
Absolutely. All they'd have to do is contact me. If they have specific designs that they want to make, I can manufacture them for them, package it for them professionally, and then sell it to them at a good price so then they can sell to for fans at the merch tables.
Nice.
So it's same thing for promoters, but then I also come out with generic ones for myself, similar to the ones you guys have, the broken tables, broken ladders. I love indie wrestling, support your local independent wrestling. Things like that I make myself. to help move along the line.
Yeah, Moore actually
yeah.
has some. She has some she's going to put up on the screen. If
So I have the broken ladder here, which is really cool. It's a good quality. It's pretty thick. It's a pin here, so it pins on the back. And I was actually thinking about even like getting like a jean jacket or a hat, and you can actually put this on and make your own type of customized, jackets or shirts, or just kind of make it look like a wrestling, outfit. So it's pretty cool.
Yep.
I was even thinking about doing that. So when I hook something up, I'll show you guys.
I've seen some people create pin boards in the shape of wrestling belts.
Nice.
And then they just put pins all throughout the belt. So people do what they do.
Yes, that's
But
a good idea.
that's the main. You guys are some of the first to have them in hand because we're not going live in person until Starrcast. But I'm actually going to announce something here for you guys first. I didn't even do this on social media yet. We will also be at Icons of Wrestling a couple of weeks after.
Awesome.
Nice.
And then we're also announced for WrestleCade.
Awesome.
And so we're going to be at the conventions. We're going to be at the shows. I'm talking to a few different independent promotions as we speak about being a vendor at their events as well. So you might see us at your favorite local indie show.
So keep a lookout. We go to a lot of indie shows. So, hey, I'm with it. I can't wait to meet you.
Yeah, Duke and Steve, you guys got any questions for Greg?
I got one. Yeah. So what made you want to get into doing stuff like this for the indie scene as opposed to, other ventures that you could have went after?
For me, I view it as it's both something I enjoy, but then it's also something I've experienced firsthand. I have gone to many independent shows and I want to purchase merch, but there's only so many t-shirts I can own. And I don't want to have an entire wall of 8x10s with signatures, and I don't need a photo with the talent. I'm just happy to be there at the show. But if they did have other, what they call in the business, impulse purchase items there for people to buy, I might be more inclined to pay $10, $15 for a large sticker, or even something for my kids, like the sticker sheets. By the way, those sticker sheets are retailing at $350. So it's not like we're exorbitant in prices. The sticker sheets are $350. The large stickers, the 4-inchers, those are going for $5. The pins are going for $10.
All right, so the sticker
and they
sheets
are available.
I'm sorry.
They're all available on the website right now at slowpoketoys.com. But even at the shows, it's going to be the same price.
So hold up the sticker sheets, Moore. So the sticker sheets, they actually have a bunch of stickers that you can look at the screen. And she's actually
each pack comes with 3 sheets, which is 24 stickers in total.
That's awesome. There you go. So if the Dangerous Jobbers podcast actually, submitted some designs for their podcast, you would be able to create those and ship them out, correct?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. If they had specific designs that they already had made, I can facilitate for them, have enabled pins with the backing and all the packaging all set up for them. If they wanted a new design, I can go to designers and have something new and fresh for them to go on with a different type of logo. Same thing for any individual wrestlers or promoters.
Awesome. So that's Greg DePaoli of Slowpoke Toys and Collectibles. Please let the viewers know where to find you.
You can find, this is, by the way, I am not socially media active. I am not good at that. You can thank my wife for all the posts. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all at Slowpoke Toys. And you can find everything we sell, not just the indie wrestling collectibles, but other lines that we will be coming out with in the future at slowpoketoys.com.
Awesome. Great pleasure having you on. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Slowpoke is a sponsor of us. We're glad to have you, and we look forward to working with you.
You as well.
Thank you. All right, folks, that was Slowpoke Toys and Collectibles founder Greg DePaoli, and we are live with the Dangerous Jobbers podcast. Finally got him on, guys.
So can we hear Stevie Jobber?
Let's see. I think you muted yourself, Stevie.
No, we can't hear you.
Can't hear you. All right, we'll work on the audio there. All right, let's look at the chat. So Fandito is in the building. He says, dangerous jobbers, great people. Never quit wrestling. What's up, Fandito? And of course, D the Toy Hunter is here. So yeah, let's see if we can get this audio working here. We have so much wrestling to talk about, and I'm really excited.
Yeah, so I want to touch base on that before we go off of the subject of the Slowpoke toys. This is like a quality product. I mean, you can feel the quality in it. This is not cheap. I mean, this is stuff you want to get. I mean, if I go to a wrestling show, like he said, they have shirts, they have 8x10s. Like, I don't want to buy 8x10 because I mean we get this stuff all the time, and I have a billion shirts. Even though I always want to represent, you know, I love T-shirts, but like something like this, like I would definitely buy this. This is a quality product. Like, I mean, this is something we're going to keep forever. This is something we can stick on our wall. This is something we can put on our hats. This is something like, this is just some cool stuff going on here. So like, if you're definitely, you're a wrestler or you're a podcast and you want some customizable things, definitely look them up. They're slowpoke.com or slowpoketoys.com rather, excuse me. It's a quality thing here. And you know, these things don't come by pretty often. I mean, this is indie wrestling. I mean, even just wrestling, pro wrestling, wrestling in general, like this is pretty cool. We definitely have to get some stuff made. Maybe I'll get my name, Mi Amor, put it on a hat.
All right, D, can you speak? Let's see if we can hear you. D?
Duke?
No.
We hear you. We got you.
Oh yeah, Stevie?
Still nothing, guys?
We got you.
Oh, we got
Yep,
you.
you're good.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
All right, awesome. So, you guys ready to talk some wrestling?
Yeah, let's get to it.
Let's do it.
Yes.
All right, guys. All right, so first highlight I want to talk about or touch on, and I'd love to get your guys' opinion. Dolph Ziggler's return. We just recently saw Dolph Ziggler. It looks like he's reinvigorated. Did you miss him? What are your thoughts about Dolph Ziggler being back in the square circle?
I'll let you go, Stevie. Go ahead. You go first.
I didn't miss him until I saw him again. I don't know if that counts.
Really?
He's one of those guys that you don't realize you missed until they show up.
I don't know. I kind of missed him. In my opinion, he's kind of like a Brian Dawkins. Like, he has a lot left, you know? And I don't know. It was a surprise to see him. Yeah, go ahead, Duke.
I agree. It was nice to see him. I definitely do think he reinvigorated himself going back to NXT for a little bit. A guy like Dolph, you can't keep off TV for too long because he's a great measuring stick for a lot of talent in the business right now.
Very true. Mi Amor, did you miss Dolph?
No, not really. No, I'm just being real though. Like, he's cool, but like, he's not somebody that I missed. Like, I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of Dolph Ziggler.
Oh man, I thought he was great.
I thought he was pretty funny. He reminds me of like a SoCal like type of dude, like a surfer guy, you know. But yeah, he's funny. He's cool. I mean, hey, I think WWE needs to have all the stardom on their roster as much as they can. So yeah, I'm good. I'm glad to see him back.
Where do you guys think this is going in terms of a story?
I'll be honest, I have no idea. I don't even think they know what they're doing because you figure he came back and he attacked Theory. I think everybody's going after Theory at this point. Theory's just feuding with the whole roster. So I don't know where they're going with Dolph coming back.
I think it has something to do with, and I'm going on a limb here. It has something to do with the briefcase because of the way that we remember Dolph Ziggler cashing in and actually winning the world title. He had Big E behind him as his muscle, and he also had what's her name?
AJ Lee.
AJ Lee. Yeah.
Oh,
So I'm thinking it's got to do something with, maybe it's got to be something with the way that he won the briefcase, or being, I think Theory's the youngest to ever win it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess we'll figure it out as we go ahead. All right, Claudio Castagnoli, formerly known as Cesaro. We saw him in action this past week, and he went up against Jake Hager, who we also previously saw in WWE, and they went square one-on-one, and of course, Claudio got the win. How do you guys think Claudio looks, and where do you think he's going in terms of his success?
Boy, I think he looks amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
And he looks like a perfect fit for the Combat Club.
He definitely does. It was interesting to see them two go up against each other first. I would have liked to see some build up between them two, considering their pasts. And it could have actually had a good storyline, built off of that. New tag team AEW World Champion Swerve and Keith Lee. What are your thoughts?
That was beautiful. I can't even lie. That was beautiful. Like the whole match itself, I enjoyed the match. And then I don't know if they showed it on TV or not, but the moment that they had afterwards with Keith Lee shouting out his friend who's going through health battles right now.
Yeah.
I thought that was like a perfect moment for Keith Lee and Strickland.
Yeah, what are your thoughts, Stevie?
Did anybody feel like it was too early? I felt weird about it. Like, I'm very happy they won. I'm a big fan of Swerve Scott since like Kill Shot from Lucha Underground, but I don't know. It felt like they weren't really a solid tag yet to put the titles on them. So it's just and it's going to be an interesting story that they're going to make about whether they finally mesh together or whether they totally fall apart and lose the belts.
I think I feel you there because maybe a couple weeks ago we saw the beginning of a little bit of a tension between the two. So yeah, like there was no real build up with them winning the titles. And then you had that on multiple occasions. They've had like some kind of like drama between them two. So then you give them the titles, and then, somewhere in the future they're gonna have some kind of break, some kind of meltdown or something between the two.
Yeah, but they're building something up, definitely.
Yeah, more than likely.
All right. Claudio Castagnoli again. He's actually getting a World Heavyweight Championship shot against Jonathan Gresham at Ring of Honor, the pay-per-view, which is coming up July 23rd. What are your thoughts? Does he stand a chance? Is this too soon as well for him, being as though he's back on the big screen? How do you guys feel about that?
Do you want to go first, or you want to?
Oh, I'll take that one. Yeah, to piggyback off what you said about stuff being too soon, it does feel a little bit too soon for Claudio. But with that being said, I know that this is going to be a great match just because Grisham's a very technical wrestler. Claudio's one of the best technical wrestlers in the world. He got probably the biggest pop this year when he debuted. And to see him finally get a world title shot after it took him, 10, 11 years in WWE, he leaves for a couple months. He comes in, and now he gets a world title shot right out the gate. It's cool to see him get the world title shot, but it still also feels really early.
Definitely.
I don't know. I feel like Tony's in a space with ROH as an exception. I think with the resurgence or the restart, that they're probably trying to find a more, it sounds weird, but like a more hardcore pro wrestling fan, not in the way of extreme wrestling, but in the way of like really technical matches that are probably boring to a crowd of the casual watcher. So I think while he's developing who's going to be really solely ROH, Claudio might have a chance. Because I don't know anybody that's concrete right now except for the people with the titles.
Mm.
And I feel like if they're merging the rosters of AEW and ROH, that maybe he's just seeing where everybody fits in. That they can keep the Combat Club, still put the more technically advanced. I don't know, that sounds like a knock, but technically advanced wrestlers in a certain spotlight where they're still more appreciated. Like NXT UK is like more for a certain kind of fan. Like the casual watcher wouldn't totally enjoy NXT UK.
Right. Good points. And in a second, your points, Fandito says he's the best technical wrestler besides Bryan Danielson. I can see his perspective.
Yeah. He's definitely up there amongst the best, but he might not be the very best, but he's up there amongst the best.
He also says Zack Sabre Jr.
Yep.
Never Quit Wrestling says Cesaro deserves a top title shot, and Claudio is the strongest wrestler. He really is a Swiss Superman by Fandito. D the Toy Hunter, nothing wrong with a good technical match. Right about that. All right, so these were our highlights of the week. So, folks, I hope you're enjoying this episode. We're here with the Dangerous Jobbers, as you can see, Dangerous Jobbers podcast, and they can be found on all platforms. So make sure you check them out. And also, you see we were done with Slowpoke Toys and Collectibles. If you want to promote your brand, go to the All About Wrestling podcast, allaboutwrestling.net. You click on brand advertisement, and you can find advertisement option there. All right, guys. So we got a lot to talk about. We have some main topics, and I really want to get you guys' perspective about these. First and foremost, Mick Foley. He just signed a new WWE Legends deal. He was also told that he had to contact Pro Wrestling Tees and the likes and tell them, listen, take all of that merchandise down. They were actually given notice, take it down, because WWE now has the exclusive rights again of his merchandise. Do you think, now, of course, it could be a benefit, but do you think this is good for him in terms of the Legends deal? Will we see him? How do you think this will turn out?
Me personally, I don't know if it'll benefit him or not. I think it's more surprising the fact that they signed him back, considering that he's been pretty vocal within the past year or so, about the things that are really terrible with the company. So I'm more surprised to actually see him back on a deal more than anything.
Yeah, that is strange.
I'm curious to see what type of character he's going to have. Like, it's been so long. I feel like he's been gone way too long. So I'm really curious to see what type of character he has and what he's bringing to the table. Like, it's been a really long time.
It has.
Yeah, it is weird that they signed him back. I don't know what he's going to be up to. It's questionable.
Yeah, it's really crazy. I don't know what to expect.
Fandito says it's not cool. Mick Foley should be allowed to still have the Pro Wrestling Tees deal. He could pay WWE 50%, but keep 100% of his cut. That doesn't make sense.
Oh my gosh. Right. In the perfect world, right?
In the perfect world. Yeah, man. What could he possibly do? Like, this makes me think, like, is it possible that
he's had so many different characters? Like, what is he going to be next?
Yeah. But my thing is like, are you doing that to stop him from going to AEW? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like,
It does feel like they're cornering the market, doesn't it? Like maybe they don't need Nick, but maybe it's just let's just take him so no one else can have him at the time.
Rack up all the legends.
Yeah, he's done just about everything there is to do. So
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I heard Goldberg's still under contract. Did you guys know that?
Oh my gosh.
He just
I always
recently
find out
disclosed
hard
that.
way.
Yeah, he just
Who is
disclosed.
Goldberg? No, I'm just playing.
We talking about contracts we got to let go.
Oh my god.
They don't want to let Bill go.
That's a budget cut.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. They're thinking like, man, if he goes to AEW, what are we gonna? Just imagine him versus Wardlow. It's already, you know what I mean? Like the Wardlow's already being billed as like, you know, they're calling him Wardlow, like Goldberg. Just imagine. They probably said, hold up, we can't let him go right now. You know? All right, second story, guys. Santana and Moss. Apparently, they have some kind of tension going on between the two. Santana's out injured from blood and guts, and there's been reports that Santana wants out of AEW. The two are not on speaking terms, and they're a tag team. Did you guys see this playing out, or what do you guys see going forward?
Go ahead, Stevie. You first.
Well, I didn't even realize they fooled me. Somehow I didn't realize they hadn't had a tag match in months. And it was usually just one or the other after the whole separation from the Jericho Society. So they definitely fooled me. It kind of took me from left field. I'm not sure what could be going wrong with them. I mean, think about how long they've been doing it. I don't know. Maybe it's something about the creative that they don't agree with, or I don't know what it could be. But it's sad to break up the team because I thought they were one of the best incarnations of LAX.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see where Santana is gonna go. If he's gonna stay, if he's gonna go, like, cause we know like he's gonna go somewhere, but where?
It's good. It's good.
Yeah, like if he's
Go ahead.
like if he stays in AEW, or if they break up, or like just goes anywhere else, like to any other company.
Yeah.
It does put an interesting dynamic on what they could do, because like Stevie said, I thought they were one of the best teams that AEW had, and they were probably the second best version of LAX. So it's just crazy to see that they actually want to break up.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. I think they were a really good team. And it is sad to see them break up, if that's in fact what is going to happen. I like them. Like, I like their whole vibe. Like, I like the whole, you know, they're from, the Bronx?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I just like it. I like the whole Latino thing, you know. I really liked it. So they're one of a kind. I mean, you don't really see that often.
Right. And also, like, I don't know, like, it's a good thing that they have Ring of Honor now, because now these wrestlers, like, you know, you see them getting released, like Big Swole, she's gone before they actually purchased Ring of Honor, but it's good that they actually do have it, because now it's like, all right, we both know how great these wrestlers are together. There is at least an alternative to at least an option, because some of these wrestlers aren't going to get picked up by WWE. We know that for a fact. Yeah, so guys, if you like this, the viewers, if you're watching this, make sure you hit the subscribe button, all right? And for exclusive member benefits, make sure you hit that join button. And we are here with the Dangerous Jobbers podcast. Before we get into our last topic, guys, do you want to tell the viewers where to find your platform?
Definitely. You guys can find us on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, all that good stuff. Dangerous Jobbers Podcast. You can check us out on our website, dangerousjobberswebsite.com. And then same thing for Instagram, Facebook, Dangerous Jobbers Podcast, and yeah, YouTube as well. And that's where you can find us in all of our glory.
We've been trying to get the Dangerous Jobbers podcast on, but there's been a lot of conflicts in terms of scheduling, and then other engagements, but we have them. And guys, you guys are always welcome. Make sure we have you back. Make sure you chime in, and we're going to chime in and listen to your guys' shows as well.
Definitely, definitely. I want to, before we move on, I want to spoil something real quick for your viewers if I can.
Okay.
Because we have already talked about this and we made it official. Bobby Rassles is going to be on episode 100 of the Dangerous Jobbers podcast.
Yeah, boy. Awesome. Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to that. It's definitely an honor to be on that. And I'm looking forward to it. And I'm pretty sure the viewers are looking forward to it. Fandito's looking forward to it. He's a Dangerous Jobbers podcast fan.
Definitely.
All right, so our main topic, folks, I definitely want to dive into this and get your opinion. Mr. McMahon. All right, so apparently we already know about the stuff that's come to light. And our good friend Colin Vasallo of Wrestling Online, he actually broke the story in a newsletter today that there's actually more to the story that's going to be coming out. In fact, Bryant Gumbel of HBO Real Sports is looking into this, and he's actually reaching out to these female wrestlers, these ex-female wrestlers, to actually get them on the show. So this might be a snowball turning into a boulder. Did we see this coming? What do you guys think? Let's start with Mia Moore. Let's get a woman's perspective here. I really like to.
We're talking about Vince McMahon. Like,
Yes.
This guy's a creep, first of all. Hashtag me too. That's what I wanted to say. And like, come on. How long has he been in the wrestling industry? How many women have gotten paid off? Like, we're talking about Vince McMahon here. I mean, he's a very wealthy man. He handles a lot of superstar wrestlers. And I'm pretty sure a lot of women have used this to their advantage. Allegedly. And now that the cat is out of the bag, they want to throw him under the bus. And, it's kind of for him, it's kind of a shitty situation, allegedly him doing this. But I don't know. Like, I kind of feel like he maybe did this, but like I said, I'm pretty sure these women have used it to their advantage as well. Like, there's always two sides to every story. So yeah, I feel bad for these women put in a position where, they're looking for fame. They're looking to be seen. They're looking for, they want to up their career. And unfortunately, in situations like this, when these things allegedly happen, they're put in this category where, is this going to get me where I need to be? And then years down the line, when the cat is out of the bag, it's like, oh yeah, he did this to me too, and then they come out with it. But at the moment, like, why not at the moment did you come out with this? Yeah. But, I don't know. Like, for all parties, I think it's a really shitty situation. And as a woman, man, I would just hate to be them. Because not only are they going to get publicity for this, but everyone's going to question this, Like, why didn't you say this before? And why is this guy searching for more wrestlers? Like, I don't know. It's such a bad situation, and maybe age has a part to play in it, and they're very naive when they go into the industry, and it's a sad situation.
Okay, and a lot to say there. I feel you. What are you guys' thoughts? I mean, allegedly.
Go
ahead.
If these are true, like people are saying that it is, then it's a terrible situation, not just for him, but for everybody else who is involved. I'm talking about Laurinaitis and whoever else may be included on this. And it's a bad look on the company as a whole. Because now it kind of raises a lot of questions. All right, well, you've been paying off these people allegedly for how many years? This has been going on for how long? It makes people wonder, like, hindsight is 2020. Vince has kind of always been a creep on TV and in the backstage segments, so it makes you think, like, all right, maybe this is kind of, I don't know if art reflecting life is the right turn of phrase, but it kind of like that type of situation.
But come on, I have to say this, right? So let's rewind back a few eras, right? And we have this era where the women are coming out in bikinis and they're, you know, they have all this stuff going on with the women, you know, very provocative situations. And we're in a day and age now where women are highly respected and they don't have to do those things to get noticed anymore. You know, they're actually professional wrestlers. Right. So back in the day when those things were happening, who was in the center of that? Vince McMahon. You know, so it kind of gives him a character as like Van Vito mentions, he's a 70-year-old plus old creeper. Yeah, I agree. He's a freaking creeper. Like, he looks like it. And if this is your company and you're allowing this, I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure these things allegedly happened, you know?
All right, folks, before we continue, my source is Wrestling Online. My source is Wrestling Online. All right, let's get back to the story. All right, so Stevie Jobber, what are your thoughts? What's your opinion about this?
It really is, to piggyback off of Duke's point, it really is art imitating life or life imitating art, right? Because at this point we don't know which is which. I don't know. It's hard for me to say because at first I wasn't. I don't even know if I was shocked until like they dug and found more stuff, and then I was like, oh, okay, this is gonna get out of hand. So I don't know what the company's gonna do. I'm not entirely sure what Vince was gonna do. His immediate reactions weren't the greatest either. I don't think putting yourself on TV every week was really the answer there. But I mean, I think at this point for me, it just depends on how much they find, because it's already bad, you know. But it seemed like something that maybe he could work his way out of until they started finding more things. So now this one is like, well, depending on how much they find, we could be in for a major change.
Yeah, I agree. And I have to touch base on Never Quit Wrestling. Now, is it just me, or does it seem weird that Sasha and Naomi walked out literally a week or two later, Shuts hitting their fan with Vince? Yes, I agree. Because I remember watching, you know, wrestling, and I always thought, like, why is Sasha getting all this attention? You know what I mean? And Bobby was like, oh, Vince loves Sasha Banks. And I'm like, really? Does he now? So
she got the private jet.
Yeah, my question is like, are they going to be part of that eventually? Like, oh my gosh, I don't know.
Oh man, the plot thickens.
Tisk.
Stevie Jobber made a good point. He talked about, and this was strange because these allegations come out and then they announce, oh, he's going to be on SmackDown. I'm just thinking, like, why? Why are you going to go on SmackDown? What is he going to say? Like, was he going to say something deep? Nope. He came out, welcome to SmackDown, and then he left.
Welcome to SmackDown.
And it's like, what was that for? Like, is this just being like arrogant? Like, you know, this stuff's going on and like I can do what I want. Like I don't know. It was just strange to me. And then he did the same thing on Raw, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, it was odd. So,
and it didn't do a whole lot for the John Cena introduction either, which was eventually his excuse. He's just gonna be here until John shows up. Which didn't sound like the original plan.
yeah, that was crazy.
I didn't buy that for a second.
It's crazy.
All right, guys. So those were our stories. Anything you want to share or talk about before we kick the can?
Okay, I want to say next week we are going to have the Pretty Fig Collector on our show.
Yep.
So make sure you guys keep it locked and stay tuned because she is back with some new toys.
Yeah, and let me just put out there that this is the second attempt because we had her on before, but we had some technical difficulties. So now she's back. We're gonna try to do it properly this time.
Awesome.
All right, guys. You guys got any last words for our viewers?
Thank you for having us on the show. I had a blast. It was great being on. Can't wait to be back on again, and can't wait to have you guys on the show in a couple weeks as well.
Awesome.
Definitely, and let our viewers know one more time where they can find you.
Yeah, you guys can find us Dangerous Jobbers Podcast, Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts. Anywhere you can listen to podcasts is where you can find us. Our YouTube is the same name. Our Instagram is the same name. And you can check us out on our website, dangerousjobberswebsite.com.
Nice.
Awesome. Dangerous Jobbers Podcast. Thanks for coming in. I'd like to give a special shout out to everybody in the chat. Rebecca Key Gaskins, me mama, Fandito, D the Toy Hunter, Carlton Coop, Never Quit Wrestling. Special shout out to Greg DePauli of Slowpoke Toys and Collectibles. And folks, make sure you tune in next week. We will be back with the briefing. Thank you. Take care.